So this is my 2018 Nissan Rogue. I just got it fresh from the factory. I've only had it for a couple of days and it's never been washed. Now a lot of people think that when these things come from the factory they've got a lot of protection on them, that they wax them and they seal them and everything for you, but from everything I've been able to research and everything I've been able to find out, it turns out it's just like throwing a baby out there with no sunscreen. It's got fresh paint but nothing to protect it. So I'm going to start my protection process here. The first step is just going to be a regular hand wash with soap, and we'll go from there. Everything is looking nice and clean, but if you look really up close here, that's a fly or something, there are some contaminants in the paint. And this is a brand new car, as I said, so it's surprising to see contaminants in the paint, right? Well, that's because not every car is perfect. As you can see, there's a little bit of something there, and a strange spot I've been finding contaminants is in the chrome trim here, which is brand new, and yet it has a couple of rust spots. So I'm going to go ahead and try my Claybar and see what kind of results we can get there. So for my Claybar, I'm using this Mother's California Gold Kit. It comes with detailer spray, a nice cloth to use, and 2 of these clay bars. So I'm going to go ahead and try that and show you what the results look like. Okay, so the car is all finished being detailed with the Claybar, and I have to say that I must be crazy because I bought a white car. Having a previously owned white car, I know how obsessive you have to be to keep the paint clean on these things, because you see every little imperfection, and that's why I'm going through so many steps now. Anyway, I'd say that the Claybar did a pretty decent job. I did visually see it lift some contaminants, but if you look carefully here and there are some that are left, and I don't think those are ever going to come out. So I'm going to go ahead with the ceramic coating, get it prepped, and try it out. I think I can get it in before the sun goes down. I'm using this product called Hendlex Ceramic. I got it off of Amazon. It didn't have too many reviews, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing this video now. And I'm going to try it out. I have to leave it for a day to cure, and then I'm going to spray some water at it and see what it does. Well, as it turns out, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is that this tiny little bottle did not have enough ceramic coating to do my whole car, because I have an SUV. The good news, on the other hand, though, is I did do the hood and whole front bumper and this whole side of the car, which means that I will have a comparison versus this side of the car that wasn't done. Okay, so I'm back again this morning. Yesterday I polished half the car and then I ran out of my nano coating ceramic stuff, but what that means is that this morning I can take a look at the effectiveness of it after it dried. And I can say that I was kind of skeptical about this stuff, but if you look closely, there are some areas which I may have put a little bit too thick of a coating on there. You can actually see that there is a hard coating, and I cannot scratch it off with my nails. You can't see it on the video, I bet, but I can see that it's there. And for example here, I rubbed a little bit on the trim there, and you can see that there's a coating there, and it's not really doing much trying to scratch it off, which leads me to believe that there is some type of coating there at least, and that makes me happy. So I have a solution, and that's that I was able to find some of this stuff locally. Not the same brand, but still another coating. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the other side of the car. And like I said, it's going to give us a nice little comparison. And on top of that, my car is going to be protected, which is the thing I care about most right now. Car-wise, anyway. So I was just driving for a bit, and when I stopped I noticed these little specks of dirt on my paint. Not really sure what they are, but this is on the ceramic coated side. And I noticed, all I have to do is just go boop, and they're gone. Pretty cool. If I had a rag, I'd just wipe this all down and my car would be clean. So I'm driving and it's raining. Well, I'm not driving, but somebody's driving and it's raining. And you can see on the hood there that the water is just turning into little bubbles and rolling right off the hood. It's not even staying. So it looks like the coating's doing its job, and that's kind of cool. So I just did an 8-hour drive in the car. It's pretty dark here, but picked up a lot of bugs along the way. A lot of dirt and debris on the car here. And I want to get it all off before it dries. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray on some detailer here. Give it a bit of a rub down, see if this comes off. So all those bugs, just wiping right off with a nice rag, with just some detailer. Not bad coating, not bad. So that's one side. And that's the other. After probably 10 seconds of wiping. So I'm gonna finish that up and go from there. So I know this video is dark, but if you take a look at the car there, I just went over it really quick with the detailer. And there are no bugs left on it. And I mean nowhere. And that's pretty important to maintain the paint stuff, because you don't want those bugs to dry and stick and get into the paint. Then you need to take care of them later on. That's why, even though it's dark out here, it's important to me to take them off as soon as possible. So I'm gonna go wash this rag and get back inside. Okay, so this is 2 weeks after I put the coating on the car. And you can see that there's pretty much no dirt anywhere on it. It's gone through rainfalls, long drives. I mean, there's some on the chrome here, and these are areas that I didn't coat, but anything that's on the coated area comes off right away. A little bit of stuff here, just wipes right off. And if I open the door, oh, not on that side, but right here. So this is, for example, an area that I didn't coat, and it comes off, but I can feel it under my finger. It's a little bit harder. Doesn't wipe off quite as nicely. And then everything kind of came to the back here. So I'm going to go ahead and wash this car later and see what kind of a difference the coating makes on the wash.